Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over how mascara works, how you put your tins into your compact, get everything set up, and then we're going to do a quick hack as a refresher for you guys. So when you typically order with me, I start you off with either a quad or a hack stack. So the quad is going to fit 4 tins and the hack stack is going to fit 4 on top and 4 on the bottom. So I'm going to show you with the hack stack today because that's typically what we start with. You will also order these 2 brushes. If not, you'll just order this. This is the Detail Hack brush. This is the B Squared Bronzer Blush brush. So I'm going to be showing you guys that today, as well as the Perfector sponge and the Stay Spray. So first things first, when you receive your tins, they come in little packages like this. Okay, so this is my brightening highlight linen. You can see on the back it has all the ingredients as well as the name of the color. So to pop out your tins, you simply just make sure that your fingers are tacky enough. If you need to, get it a little bit wet, and then you will simply slide this out. So I'm pinching the front and the back and I slide it right out just like this. Pop off the top, lay it to the side, and then open up my hack stack and place it right inside and slide it to where it goes. So there's that one. Then I'm going to continue doing that. This is June. This is my main highlight color. Slip it out, pop off the tin, put it into my compact, and these are all magnetic, so they slide right in and they don't fall out. Okay. Next, I'm going to go in with my contour. That should be your next color. So you'll do your brightening highlight, your main highlight, then your contour color. Then lastly, you'll do your lip and cheek color, okay? So that's going to be your blush. That's going to go on the top as well. So if you start with a quad, this is what you'll start with, okay? Your brightening highlight, your main highlight, your contour, and your lip and cheek color. Then we're going to go to the bottom. And here I have a cream illuminator. This is Angel. I also have Love Spell, which is another lip and cheek. And then I have 2 Bella bronzers to go on the bottom as well. Okay? So, same thing. Take that illuminator. I'm going to pop that right out. Place that in the bottom. Open my lip and cheek Love Spell. Place it next to my illuminator. Then I'm going to open up both Bella bronzers. And I'm going to place those next to each other in the bottom of the tin. But, and you can choose how you want to do this, I like to put them side by side because I want to get more bronzer on the brush at a time than just with a single tin. So that's what the bottom of my hack stack looks like. I've got my cream illuminator, my Love Spell lip and cheek, and then 2 Bella bronzers. So top would be your 4 colors if you had a quad. Here's the bottom. You may have eyeshadows, you may have something else, but this is typically what we start with. So now that you know how to put all of that together, we're going to go ahead and grab our Perfector sponge and our Stay Spray. And what I like to do first, and like I said, you can do this however you please. This is how I do it. I start with the Stay Spray and the Perfector sponge, and this is damp. So you want to make sure that this is damp. Then I spray my Stay Spray onto my sponge. I take the sponge and I use the Stay Spray as a primer. So you guys can use this if you'd like. It helps provide a little more moisture. It helps prep the skin for the makeup, which will help your makeup stay on all day. Okay? So I just start with that, let it dry. As I let it dry, I go ahead and grab my compact and my brush. And today I'm going to start with the B Squared brush. I'm going to use the small side, which is the blush side, to apply my highlight. So I'll start with my main highlight color, June. So it'll be the darker of the 2 for you. And you just want to tap into that color ever so slightly. So see how there's not a ton of product on there? You always want to start with less, because with this makeup, less is more. So I go ahead and just put that onto the skin. I don't worry about blending it out as I put it on. I kind of want my skin to melt it down a little bit. So if your color appears to be yellow, it's totally fine. This looks very yellow on me because I have naturally red undertones. I want to color correct those. So once you get it all on and blended in, you shouldn't have any issues with the color. If you do, no harm, no foul. We can always change colors. So then I'm just going to take this brush. This is going to give me a really light coverage, which is what I prefer. And I'm just going to blend all of that in to the skin. So I went up on my forehead, over my nose, and you don't have to apply your main highlight everywhere. I just like to apply it everywhere because I have red undertones. So I like to color correct with my highlight color. So once I've got that blended, you guys can see that really matches my skin tone a lot better than it seemed. Okay, so now that I've got my main highlight on, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the Detail Hack brush, which is this brush. Then I'm going to go straight into my contour color, which is Olive. So today I'm using Olive with my Detail Hack brush. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of that contour on my brush, focusing on this angle here, grabbing the contour. So that way there's more contour on this side of the brush. And as I go to contour, I'm going to look for my cheekbone. Okay, you can already see your natural shadows. Okay, so I'm going to be looking right for that cheekbone. I'm going to press the makeup up under the cheekbone. Okay, so you can press it on just like this, or you can slide forward. Okay, so either way, you just want to be pressing up. Press up under that cheekbone. Okay, I'm not going to worry about blending it because I'm going to come in and do that in just a minute. So again, to show you, grab a little bit of that contour, and a little bit goes a long way, but don't be afraid of the colors. You can always blend them out. So I'm just putting that right under the cheekbone here. Okay, so I have this side done, and I have this side done. Now, I'm going to take that same contour color, and I'm going to go on my forehead. Just one dab across the top, and then I'm going to come back and blend that in just a moment. But I want you to be able to see where the contour goes. So you're going to have it under your cheekbones, on the hairline. Then I'm going to flip the brush to the small side, tap it into my contour, just getting the smallest amount. And then to contour your nose, you want to focus on the bridge of the nose. You don't want the contour on the sides of your nose. You want it up on the bridge of your nose. Okay, so I'm taking that color and just ever so slightly putting it on to my nose. I can go ahead and blend that up into the brow bone and then down to the tip of my nose. Okay, so do you guys see how I kind of just made those lines close enough together that it makes my nose appear a little bit thinner? So don't worry too much about blending all of that out. We're going to come back and do that in a moment. But I'm going to take that bigger side again, and if you guys choose to, you can contour your jawline. Just tap, tap. And you want to start back by the ear, and you want to be underneath of your jawline. Pull it back. And then the secret here is to blend down the neck ever so slightly. That way you don't have any harsh lines, and you're good to go. Okay? So now that I've gotten all of that contour off, I want this to be as clean as it can be. It's pretty clean because I'm going to go into this brightening highlight linen. Just a couple taps to where I don't even have very much on the brush. And I'm going to take that under the eye. Okay, so I want this triangle of light under the eye. You want to come down to the tip of your nostril, and then you want to fan that out down towards your contour line. Okay, so I want you guys to see this from the corner of the eye down to the end of the nostril, up to the other corner of the eye, and back around. That is your triangle of light. That's where your brightener goes. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this side. Down the nostril, and then over to the tip of my cheekbones and blend that in toward my contour line. Okay, take the rest and put some on my Cupid's bow some on the center of my chin, and then the center of my forehead, okay? So I'm going to blend out the center of my forehead here just a bit because I'm going to go back in and blend that contour. And then the secret to nose contour is the brightening highlight. So I'm just going to touch a little bit onto my finger. I'm going to start on the tip of my nose, just like so, and then drag that brightening highlight up the nose, okay? So you can see that that just brightens up the nose really well. It makes those contour lines more defined. And at the end, we're going to go back in and blend those out. So don't worry about your nose contour being maybe a little too heavy. It's totally okay. We're going to blend it right out. So I'm going to leave that as is, and I'm going to go back in with this bigger side and blend that contour up. So I'm just blending. You can kind of go back and forth to soften up those lines, but you want to blend up. You never want to blend down, because if your contour gets too low, it'll just make your face look dirty. So same on this side, back and forth to kind of soften up that contour line, blending it up toward the tip of the cheekbone. Then I'm going to go back up here and blend back toward the hairline. Okay, so when you're blending your contour on your forehead, you want to soften it up toward your hairline. Okay, so I want you guys to see that, because obviously your hairline is going to be lighter on your scalp than your forehead. So my hair's pulled back, so I want to make sure I get that all the way back to the hairline. If your bangs are down, this kind of contouring doesn't matter as much. So flip the brush back over, kind of soften up those lines on the nose as we go, and then take whatever's left under the lip, just a tiny bit. That's going to make my lips look a little more full as I go on and do everything else. So flipping back over to the B squared brush, this is where the bronzer is going to come in on the fluffy side. So I'm going to flip over to the bottom of my hack stack, and where my two Bella bronzers are, they look a little bit different because this one's brand new and I've used this one just a little, but they are the same. So I'm going to take the big fluffy end, and I'm just going to kind of dab that in to where I get the bronzer all over the brush, okay? This may seem a little heavy, but like I said, you can always blend it out, so don't be afraid, okay? So I'm going to start back on the high points, and I'm just putting the product on like I did to begin with my brightening highlight, okay? So that looks like a crazy hot mess, but that's okay, because we're going to go and blend it all out. So I'm going to take the excess bronzer down my neck, especially if I'm wearing like a lower cut shirt. I want to cover my chest, and then I'm going to take whatever's left and fluff it out up on my forehead, leaving the center bright, okay? And then blending out those cheekbones. So your bronzer, you want it to go everywhere where the sun would hit you. Your contour is made to provide shadows. So the outer rim of my face, I am putting on my bronzer, bronze the tip of my nose just a tad, and then I really go down on the jawline as well. Okay, so I'm going to flip the brush, and I'm going to sweep up right there, and sweep up right here. Okay, take the detail hack brush, pull that bronzer away from the triangle of light, and if you need to apply a little bit more, that's totally okay. I like mine to be blended all together. So now that I'm nice and bronzy, if it's winter time, you may not need as much bronzer, but it is summertime here and it's hot, so we are bronzing up. So now I'm going to take the perfector sponge again, and I'm going to go in and press all of that makeup in. Okay, as I do this, it's going to help blend out any harsh lines I may have. It's going to remove any excess makeup I may have. And this is where you're blending out your nose contour. So you softly want to tap, tap, and you're just pressing that into the skin, okay? So you ever so slightly want to blend out the nose. Then take it back to this side, blend out this side of my face, press in under the eye, and then blend out my forehead. So a lot of people think you're supposed to like rub with the blender, but you want to press small motions like this into your skin. Okay, so now that I've done all of that, I'm nice and blended. I'm going to take the small end that we used to apply our highlight with, And that's what I'm going to take into my Hollywood lip and cheek. Okay, so I just dab a little bit there, and these are very pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. Okay, just that little bit right on the apples of my cheeks. So you do a little smile, puff up your apples of your cheeks, and just press that into your skin. So yeah, that provides just a really pretty natural pink overlay on my cheeks. That's bringing life back into my skin. Flip the brush, blend that into my bronzer, and now I have a very natural looking makeup look. So to somewhat repeat those steps, you do your main highlight, then your contour, then your brightening highlight, then your bronzer, then back to the top, you do your blush, and then lastly, we'll do our illuminator. So I'll take that perfector sponge, whatever side is the cleanest, I kind of pinch it and I rub into my illuminator just like so, okay? And then I can press that illuminator on the top of my cheekbones. So I'll get a little closer so you guys can see how that just provides a really beautiful dewy finish. If you guys are not a fan of the dewy finish, that's something that we will talk about or have talked about, and you guys can use a setting powder instead. So we do have powder illuminators. Some of you may have them, some of you may have the cream illuminators. It's really up to your discretion of what you want. So I put just whatever's left on the sponge on my nose, a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and that, my friends, is all that you need to do. If you'd like, this is why I have a second lip and cheek color, Love Spell. I take a tiny bit of that on my finger and give my lips some color. I love this color because it's so natural looking, but it's a satin finish, so it's kind of glossy too. So, okay. So what we started with was our compact, either a hack stack or a quad, your perfector sponge, the stay spray, and your two brushes, the detail hack brush and the B squared bronzer blush brush. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions, please go ahead and send me a message or comment below. I'm happy to answer all of those for you. If you have not yet tried Maskcara Beauty, now is the time. You can find me on my Instagram at Fall Into Beauty. You can find that from this my YouTube page as well. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and best of luck with your makeup.